Have you ever gone to a Nintendo event that was held in order to promote a game? This was pretty common back in the Wii U and 3DS era, although seems to not exist quite as much now. One of my favorite event memories was Smash Fest, a chance to play a demo of Smash Bros. Wii U months before it would release in 2014. My friends and I waited in line for close to 6 hours just to play 4 minutes of the game, but the memory of that experience made it worthwhile. Today's topic, however, is not told from the viewpoint of a patron like me or you. Instead, it's about a crew member who helped put on a certain event, but was allegedly treated so poorly that it caused serious health complications. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D was released in May of 2013, so Nintendo decided to hold an event to promote it and give fans a chance to play it. In keeping with the jungle theme of Donkey Kong, this event was not held at a Best Buy or anywhere similar, but instead at the Los Angeles Zoo. Despite how gimmicky this might sound, the event was exclusive to the area and actually looks pretty fun. There were demo kiosks set up, signage featuring Donkey Kong, and even real gorillas eating food from Donkey Kong themed barrels. But there's one important element this event seems to be forgetting, and that's DK himself. Luckily, Nintendo has a surprise for you. There was a costume character of Donkey Kong who greeted guests and posed for pictures, similar to a character from Disney World. A meet and greet with Mario would have really livened up the Smash Fest event, so I think that's pretty cool that DK made an appearance here, and I'm sure everyone really enjoyed it. Everyone except for the actor inside the DK costume, that is. The actor inside the costume is named Parker Mills, and he was hired by Nintendo to play the role of DK for this event. While you'd think walking around as a big monkey to be an easy task and maybe even a fun job, the experience was the complete opposite as Mills claims. He stated that he was denied breaks, refreshments, and even ice packs to cool him down while inside the costume in the heat of the day. Additionally, there was supposed to be a Nintendo supervisor while Mills was in costume, but apparently that supervisor failed in his task, so Mills was not properly supervised. As a result of the stress put on the actor and how poorly he was treated while inside the costume, Mills claimed that it severely injured him and resulted in aortic dissection, which is a tearing of the aortic walls of the heart. This condition can lead to decreased blood flow in organs, resulting in stroke or death, meaning that surgery was inevitable to fix the condition, and a permanent heart defibrillator was implanted into his chest. About a year later in December 2014, Mills officially sued Nintendo on the grounds that he was poorly supervised, resulting in the aortic dissection, to which he was seeking financial compensation to the tune of $27 million. While we don't know exactly what the interaction between Mills and Nintendo was, there's actually a really interesting NeoGAF thread that discusses the lawsuit with different opinions of what happened here. The general consensus seems to be that aortic dissection is not something that just happens overnight, and is usually linked to a pre-existing medical condition. This means that Mills would have, or should have known about this issue beforehand, and just wearing the costume for a few hours would not directly cause this to happen. It's usually traced back to genetics. The only way there could be some kind of connection is if the costume specifically could be proven to put pressure on the heart. On the contrary, there are some claims in this thread that say Nintendo does not treat their employees very well on some occasion, but since we weren't there, we'll never know for sure. Some of the less popular Nintendo events I've been to seem to have employees who just didn't care or who seemed like they hated their job, so I could maybe believe Mills got neglected in this instance, as you'd have to be supervising a guy in a monkey costume being surrounded by kids the entire day. So what was the outcome here? Well, luckily I was able to find the law firm who represented Nintendo, and they gave a highlight of the case on their website. They state that despite the health issues Mills experienced during the event, he did not tell his supervisors at all. Additionally, the defense experts argued that aortic dissection could not be caused in such a manner as wearing an uncomfortable costume, which goes back to the point of it being a genetic or pre-existing condition. In the end, there was a settlement between Mills and Nintendo before it went to trial, for an amount that was substantially less than Mills was originally asking for, but was kept confidential. While the result sounds like Mills was exaggerating a lot of the details regarding his personal story with the costume, maybe it actually really is a dangerous costume. A couple years later in 2016, another actor who used the costume, named Michael O'Connie-Trillo, tried suing Nintendo for similar reasons, that the costume was too hot and he was ordered to keep it on for the duration of the event. To be fair, this costume doesn't really look very well made, and aside from the head, the rest of the costume's construction just looks like a cheap gorilla suit. Which is really surprising when Nintendo has had better likenesses of him before, or at least costumes that look better engineered. These two events are pretty isolated, however, and it's not like someone sues Nintendo over a costume every year. It still makes for a wacky story and something that largely stayed in the past, so looking at such a weird and controversial situation regarding Nintendo is always a fun history lesson.